Hello, world. So we got dead bird drones, bloody cocktails, and a bunch of stuff happening tonight. I'm Don,
I'm Kyko.
and you're watching Showcase for the week ending Sunday, April 23rd, 2023. Let's get going. All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. Whoops, there it is. I had to wait for the thing to go away. All right, so basically, yeah, we're doing weird news headlines tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. With me tonight is my name is Don. With me tonight once again is Mr. Kyko. How are we doing tonight, man?
Sir, I'm in here. I'm in here.
Cool.
I ain't
Awesome.
in here. I'm in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. You about ready to talk about some weird news headlines?
Oh yeah, let's get it.
All right, cool. And those of you at home, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscription bell or follow notification if you haven't hit that already. And if you have any weird news headlines, game stream ideas, or dad jokes to suggest, you can always use the contact form on our Linktree page, which is now scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And as always, if you're with us live, drop us a line in the live chat and we just might read it off live on the air. So, without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started with the first order of business, which comes to us from Reuters. Let's see.
Right.
Dead birds get new life. New Mexico researchers develop taxidermy bird drones.
Wow!
What in the Frankenstein is this? Kyko, what's your first take on this?
Well,
welcome to the show.
You would transfer mail. I mean, what are they about to like? What are they for? That's all I can say is what is this leading to?
Well, let's see. Yeah. Dr. Mostafa Hassanalian, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, a mechanical engineering professor who is leading the project, has found that artificial mechanical birds. Oh, whoops! I haven't pre-screened any of these, so it's like I'm trying to figure out in real time how to like read this in the right way. Let's see. So, okay, scientists in Mexico are giving dead birds new life with an unconventional approach to wildlife research. A team at the New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology in Socorro is taking birds that have been preserved through taxidermy and converting them into drones in order to study flight. Okay, so let's see. Dr. Hassanalian has said, quote, "We came up with this idea that we can use dead birds and make them into a drone. Everything is there. We do reverse engineering," end quote. So taxidermy bird drones, currently being tested in a purpose-built cage at the university, can be used to understand better the formation and flight patterns of flocks. That in turn can be applied to the aviation industry. Ta-da!
Amazing. Tremendous. That is wow. Oh, you remember that thing on American Dad? You remember when Stan ran over the dog and then he brought the dog back to life, and his testicles were its eyeballs.
I don't remember if I'm thinking of the same episode that you are. I just remember in the pilot episode there was a dog that Stan had kept at the CIA since the Reagan administration.
Yeah.
Is that the same dog that we're talking about?
That's not the same one. No.
It's not the same one. Okay.
But
that dog was really old, though.
Right.
Like, there's old, and then there's... Okay, put it this way. Old is like 45 minutes younger than that dog was.
Oh, man.
That's basically what we're talking about there.
Right.
But anyway, back over to this. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see, like, if they're really serious about applying this research to more interesting, to more groundbreaking sort of discoveries in the aviation industry. You know, there's been a lot of stuff that's coming out of, for example, SpaceX in the interstellar exploration sort of field. Basically, I don't know if you saw that big thing that Elon was putting together. I think it was a few days ago. They did a SpaceX rocket launch that blew up mid-flight.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So like it's I put this in that sort of category of, yeah, it's good that we're doing this kind of research. And it's clearly like, you know, the bird's already passed away. You know, it's not harming an animal that's no longer with us.
Right.
I think that's how that works. I think. Don't quote me on that. But but it's in the interest of sort of exploring, you know, new frontiers. You know, as long as we as humans are capable and willing of doing so in a way that doesn't continue to run roughshod over nature,
Yeah,
and actually pushes the ball forward, I see this as a bit of a win. It's creepy on the surface, but I overall see it as a win. Kaiko, what do you
I
think?
do. I agree with you. I definitely agree. 'Cause, I mean, we'll be making wings that we can put on ourselves, and I think that's why I started this with saying I wonder where this is going to lead to. That's why I say it leading to. You know.
Oof, be careful what you wish for, Icarus.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Want some wings? I'll take some wings. I'll take a 6-piece, a 10-piece, a 12. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, anyway, in the meantime, while they go ahead and continue all that research, let's go ahead and get ready to move on to the next topic. Don't forget, everybody watching at home, this is Weird News right here on Weekend Showcase, live across YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter at Weekend Showcase. Thanks for joining and smashing that like button and subscribing or following. Let's kick on some lo-fi background tracks. There we go. And see what else we've got this week. Topic number 2 is from canoe.com. Odds and waitress fired.
turn it down a little bit. Turn the music down a little bit.
Oh, all right, hang on.
Come on, 60,
that better?
65. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry. It's like 17% right now. It defaults to like 50. I forgot to adjust it before we went live. Anyway,
Right.
all right.
Yeah,
Odds and ends. Waitress fired for mixing blood in cocktails and other offbeat offerings. Ew. Exactly. Thank you, Control. That was crazy.
I would try it.
Somehow, I'm not surprised to hear you say that, Kyko. I'm not surprised at all.
Like it doesn't disgust me. I'll say that. I'll just say that. It doesn't. I'm not like, gross. They shouldn't do that. That's all.
But like on principle, it's blood, and it stands to reason. Like I would hope it's not. First of all, oh god, I don't even know where to begin with.
I know where you're going. I know what you're saying, because that's the first question you ask, is what you were about to ask. That's the first thing you ask, and I mean,
brain spaz. Good to see you again. Nah, Kyko, you serious? Well, yeah.
Hey, listen, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I don't recommend it. I'm not recommending it. I'm not advertising it, but it don't bother me. So
to each their own. But anyway, here's the rest of the story. A waitress in Japan took the drink Bloody Mary a bit too literally. The waitress at a cafe in Hokkaido was fired for allegedly mixing her own blood in the drinks she served, according to reports.
There you go, folks.
The Mondaihi Cafe in Sapporo, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, trying not to, tweeted on April 2nd saying that they have fired the unidentified woman who made customers drinks called orikaku, or original cocktail, mixed with fruits, colorful syrups, and her own blood.
Now that I know that it's her blood, if you want to try this drink, you need to go to our Patreon.
So we don't have a Patreon that's like public facing and properly set up. And in full disclosure, we do not support or condone any of this. I'm just going to go ahead and take point on that particular response right there. Anyway, so the cafe said, quote, such an act is no different from part-time job terrorism and is absolutely not acceptable, end quote. Adding that the business was shut down for a day to replace all of its drinking glasses. The owner of the cafe also apologized. Oh, this is priceless. The name of the business reportedly translates to Problem Child Concept Cafe. Wow. Yeah. So this is a hard pass for me. I don't care like how close to Halloween this might or might not have been done. I didn't see anything in here about the timeline of like, how long this has been happening or like when it started. But anyway, if anyone watching or listening to this has any sort of curiosity about this somehow, or any of the other topics that we're talking about on the shows, go ahead and visit the YouTube or Facebook versions of this episode. And in the description, you see all of our sources listed there if you want to do any further reading on any of this stuff. Hopefully not while you're eating dinner. Anyway, let's move on. Next topic is this. Is this music still coming through okay? Try to pick that up a little bit. Hang on. Next track. There we go. All right. Next one's coming to us from Science Daily. Now you can be comfortable in your e-skin is the headline. This was first published on the 18th. Researchers have designed a cellulose nanopaper, called a nanofiber paper, I guess, that can be used as a substrate for on-skin electronics. The porous structure of the nanopaper means that it can conform and adhere to the skin well enough for effective signal transfer and allows moisture to pass through for breathability and comfort. It is hoped that the nanopaper can soon be used to acquire electrophysiological data, such as ECGs, in the clinic.
Wow.
ECGs meaning electrocardiograms for those
Say what?
Yeah, electrocardiograms for those who aren't familiar with that medical term. So I guess this is great news for those of us who are looking for a new way to cosplay as a Borg, I guess, for Halloween. Kyko, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is some innovative stuff right here. This is gonna take everything to the next level.
Can you think of any practical applications that you might use this for?
I like, you know what, before you asked that, I was thinking about that, and I'm saying I don't know exactly what, like, I don't know, I don't understand exactly what it is that they're trying to do. Like, are they trying to replace skin, or it's
Well, at the very least, we can go by what it proposes here at the bottom section of the summary here. The nanopaper can be used to acquire electrophysiological data. So, like pulse readings, for example, maybe brain waves, anything that can be, theoretically, if I'm understanding this correctly, any scientific or like medical measurement that requires a topical administration of whatever you would use to measure it, basically.
right.
So,
But-
like, as long as it comes in contact with the skin and extracts useful data, there you go.
Right. But what I do see, aside from skin, this paper, I feel like we're gonna be able to put videos on paper.
Now, we technically already have a version of that, even though it's not really like paper per
Yeah.
se. Like, we have foldable smart glass technology that already exists.
Okay.
So it's just not widely, if I remember right, it's not quite commercially accessible just yet, and you can't just walk into like a Verizon store or whatever to pull
Right.
that off.
But you're talking about now, that's a device. I'm talking about just a sheet of paper. I'm talking about now we might have a book from Harry Potter that have moving people. You know what I'm saying?
So I can see that. And I guess when you put it that way, I guess we can go ahead and chalk this up to yet another example of Hollywood sort of being uniquely, I was about to say prescient. I'm not sure if that's the right word for it. Clairvoyant.
Right.
Hollywood being uniquely clairvoyant in terms of forecasting or predicting technological advancements in the not too distant future. I mean, how
Right.
often have we seen this happening?
Right.
Like, everybody goes to the smartphone example, but I mean, we have hoverboards, right? From Back to the Future 2, right? Even though they don't technically hover in the hoverboards we have in real life, actually have wheels, which defeats the entire purpose of them being called hoverboards. But that's nitpicking, neither here nor there. Anyway, is there anything else on here? I guess it's a bunch of like technical stuff. Here we go. Once wet, the nanopaper could stick to skin because of the action of the water in the pores. It was able to withstand 100 cycles of deformation on the forehead while maintaining function. The new nanopaper can also be sterilized at high temperature. Okay, so basically that means that the nanopaper that's picking up readings from you, like it's like those cloth band-aids. Basically, they're flexible enough to basically be able to still do their job regardless of what you kind of are doing with your skin in order to actually like go about your day, whatever, right? And they can also be reusable, it seems, judging by this particular passage about sterilizing the nanopaper. So that's cool. Not generating more medical waste. Appreciate that.
Right.
Anyway, what do you guys think at home? Drop us a comment in the live feed, and we might just read it on air. Let's go ahead to the next topic and move things along, one thing after the other. Next topic comes to us from the Associated Press. Littlest intruder, toddler crawls through White House fence. Okay. Did not see that coming. I didn't know that we were in production on another Baby Geniuses movie.
I mean, those rails are like spaced out enough for a baby to get through. I can get through that. I'm a little fat now, so probably not, but
yeah, probably not. I wouldn't be able to get through that either. But anyway, a curious toddler on Tuesday earned the title of one of the tiniest White House intruders after he squeezed through the metal fencing on the north side of the executive mansion. U.S. Secret Service Uniform Division officers who were responsible for security at the White House walked across the North Lawn to retrieve the tot and reunite him with his parents on Pennsylvania Avenue. Access to the complex was briefly restricted while officers conducted the reunification. Officers briefly questioned the parents before allowing them to continue on their way. And then it kind of trails from there. Kyko, any last reactions to this before we move on?
I mean, you know, watch your kids, everybody.
Okay, last word from Kyko. Watch your kids. Don't let the Rugrats get too far away from Grandpa Stu.
Right.
I guess.
Right.
That's the takeaway from that. Anyway, let's move on. Next item. This might be a deleted scene from Ratatouille, possibly. Rat ambassadors show off abilities to help humans and wildlife. Okay. As an ambassador for rats, it's never easy to win over the public. There's that hairless tail, after all. But Runa at the San Diego Zoo is doing her best to counter the bad press. She's one of a handful of such so-called ambassadors, showing off the virtues of rats at 3 U.S. zoos. The rats were provided by a Tanzania-based organization that is training African giant pouched rats to combat wildlife trafficking, detect diseases, and perform other useful tasks.
Whoa.
Kyko, your first thoughts?
Yeah, I like rats. Ain't no wrong with rats.
Okay, Willard, I hear you.
You know, so I mean, you know, more power to these rats. Boy, like, I mean, listen, rodents are smart. You know, don't take away from the rodents.
I mean, yeah, I saw the movie Mouse Hunt. I know what they're capable of.
You know, they some smart little things. So, you know, I say keep. You know, people need to not be afraid of them, but they have rabies. So, you know. That's the takeaway on that. I'll be catching. I caught a rat with that net at my mom's house. Yeah.
Wait. No. You had a dedicated purpose for that specific net. Like, you're supposed to like throw that down whenever we do dad joke of the day, and what I say is especially cringe in that moment. Like, that's what that's for.
I told you that I'll be catching stuff. I'll be catching all kind of stuff. I caught a little mouse at my mom's house.
But you're supposed to be catching bad jokes and occasionally fairy godparents with the butterfly net. I don't know.
Well, then it was a fairy godparent, because I'm trying to tell you that boy was in my net.
Oof. Careful, you don't want to break the rules there. Anyway, let's move on.
You gotta hit a rim shot with that one.
Oh yeah, control. Where is it? We'll probably get it in a minute. There it is. Okay. Slight delayed reaction from controller, but we got it. Thanks. All right, let's move on. Next item on the docket. Whatever. We'll just do this, and it's a private window anyway. Sky News. This is from the Sky News. Bulldog puppy that chewed his owner's toe to the bone may have saved his leg. Wow. Yep, that's redundant. A retired builder has told how his dog potentially saved his leg by chewing his toe to the bone while he was asleep. David Lindsay was taking a nap on his sofa when his wife's scream woke him up. He looked down to find that a 7-month-old bulldog puppy had been nibbling on his foot, so much so that his toe had been fractured and was covered in blood. However, in a strange turn of events, it turns out Harley the dog was an unlikely hero. The 64-year-old father of 5 told Wales Online, quote, "I was asleep on the couch when my wife walked in and shouted, 'Dave, the puppy's chewing your toe.' My puppy had near enough chewed my big toe off. It chewed down to the bone and cracked it, but because of all this, I discovered that my foot is completely numb. I can't feel anything." End quote. After being rushed to the hospital, doctors told him he had lost the feeling in his feet due to 2 blocked arteries in his legs. Whoa. He was warned if the blood supply was not returned, he risked losing his leg. And then Okay, let's see. I guess.
Wait. So I'm missing something.
What are you missing?
I'm missing. I don't know. Did you were done reading it?
For the most part, I mean, yeah, I try sometimes to not read literally through everything on the chance that we have audience who might want to go through the sources on the YouTube or Facebook versions of this content and look it up for themselves.
Yeah, Pops want to explain to me what he just
because the dog chewed his toe. that alerted him that he was losing his nerves. That means that he didn't feel it.
So he lost. So two arteries were blocked.
Yeah.
And so he would have. You're saying he would have felt the pain of the arteries being blocked,
Yeah.
and so because the toe got chewed, that stopped him from feeling the artery nonsense.
Possibly. Let's see. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, how else are you going to sort of like call attention to that at that point?
Yeah, that made me that gave me the willies. This whole article gave me the willies.
So I take it you're not that much of a dog person.
No, listen, it's just the fact that he bit his toe to the bone.
Yeah,
that sound like some horror stories stuff.
Honestly, yeah, I see. Okay, dogs are man's best friend. I'm a dog owner myself, and it's like, okay, I've seen some instances before about how like sometimes animals will detect health issues in the humans that they live with, and thankfully be able to sort of like call attention to it in ways other than actually speaking the English words. But here's Brain Spaz on YouTube. Guy wouldn't have known his arteries were blocked if the dog hadn't been eating his toe and he couldn't feel it. Yeah, that's pretty cut and dry there.
Right.
But I guess what I was really ultimately trying to get at is like how, like, you know, this sort of goes back to the stuff that we were talking about with the taxidermy birds and the rats as well in the last story, basically about just how many times over, you know, sometimes we don't necessarily expect all of the possible like permutations and ways that nature can be helpful and important to like preserve and find like a synergistic sort of relationship with, find and maintain a synergistic relationship with, I should say. But in any event, thank goodness this was found in time, because like I don't know that like, how in the world, man.
So now he needs to put that nano paper on his toe so he can have skin,
or at least be able to sort of like detect sooner than it takes Fido over here to call to his attention if another issue happens with another extremity. I don't know, like, you know, like sometimes like I remember reading something. I think it's the left arm. I'm trying to remember if it's your left arm that if you lose feeling in, you're like at risk for like a heart attack or something. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the left arm for that. I may be incorrect on that. Those of you watching, like, don't take that as serious medical advice. Do your own medical research and you know, consult your physician for more accurate information on that. Brain Spaz says, what a way to find out though, your toe being eaten. Yeah, just on principle. Mm-hmm. Just on principle. Jeez.
Listen. I've never heard a dog do that before. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't really scare me to have a dog, but at the same time, it's like dogs be doing stuff like that, because that's crazy.
But anyway, let's agreed. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next item on the list of topics to discuss here. This goes back to Science Daily. First published April 18. Tiny biobattery with 100-year shelf life runs on bacteria.
Wow!
Oh yeah.
So let's see. A tiny biobattery that could still work after a century has been developed by researchers at Binghamton University, State University of New York. Last fall, Binghamton University professor Sean Choi and his bioelectrics and microsystems laboratory published their research into an ingestible biobattery activated by the pH factor of the human intestine. Now, he and PhD student Mariam Rizai, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, have taken what they learned and incorporated it into new ideas for use outside the body. A new study in the journal Small, which covers nanotechnology, shares the results from using spore-forming bacteria similar to the previous ingestible version to create a device that potentially would still work after 100 years. Choi said, quote, the overall objective is to develop a microbial fuel cell that can be stored for a relatively long period without degradation of biocatalytic activity, and also can be rapidly activated by absorbing moisture from the air, end quote. Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, I don't have a biological science background. I'm just a computer nerd, but I think this basically is suggesting sort of like finding ways to turn the human body into a stable power storage facility, basically.
So that we can like have electric power. Is that what you said?
I don't know. I may be dead wrong in this. I'm not entirely certain. Like, that's just basically, if I'm understanding this right. We haven't pre-screened any of these, like Kyko and I. So I don't know.
Right.
Like this is, but another thing that I want to go ahead and point out here is, in the previous paragraph here, there's a sentence here similar to the previous ingestible version. They've actually made a stable ingestible version of this technology before. This isn't the first time this has been done.
Mhm.
So this seems to be sort of a recurring process of scientific advancement here, but we're still sort of unclear as to, well, we know why, but I guess in terms of understanding the practical applications of this technology, once it actually gets fully perfected and patented and whatnot, you know, what
Right.
like how does this better anyone's life? How does this, you know, improve, you know, anything?
I mean,
I'm not really
if
sure.
you telling me I can hold my phone and charge it in my hands, I think is that what this is saying?
Possibly, but like that would require something like the career chips from Futurama. They would have to be injected into your hand
Right.
for that.
I mean, but we would. I would do that if I could charge my phone out of my hand. I'd take that little chippy chip. I ain't doing nothing. If you tracking me down, I ain't doing nothing wrong. So put that little thing in my
But
hand.
we're talking
so
about
I can-
but we're talking about a microbial sized battery that you ingest.
right.
You know,
That you can.
it's
right.
not something that can be like held like topically, which would defeat the purpose anyway, or something that's just
Right.
that you just put in your hand like that, which is where like
Right.
logic would sort of dictate that. It's like, how do you like I don't know, you like you would hold your phone up to your appendix or something, and like how does that?
Right. Yeah, man. This is that's what I'm saying. It would go. I would think it would go through your entire nervous system and all that good stuff, and you know, give you electric power. Like you eating a little pill to give you superpowers. That's what this is right here. That's looking at this from another's perspective. You eating a pill to get superpowers. That's what they tell me.
Okay, let's pretend that that's exactly what it is. Kyko, what kind of power would you want that you think you would take a pill for?
Oh yeah, fire all day. The power to control fire.
Is there going to be a straight pyro? That's your...
Yeah. I could just flick like that and a little flame come out of my hand. That's what I need.
I'm pretty sure Chris Evans already did that though.
Ooh, I'm trying. Is that's not who I think it is? I don't quote
The
me.
first Human Torch movie, or the first Fantastic Four movie.
No, okay. See, I didn't know that because I don't know his name, but I was thinking about someone else who did that exact little thing. I'm not going.
There's probably a way to do that if you have like the skin on your fingers like dry enough. Basically, you could just snap it,
right?
And while you're holding a match, and just like snap it and then pull that out.
Oh, while you holding a mat? Yeah, you need to have some source of the fire. You can't. I don't think you get just like if I do this continuously, like rapidly, maybe my whole hand will just catch on fire.
Ugh. Maybe that's a bad idea to test. I wouldn't test that.
Oh yeah. What power would you get?
Probably something mentally oriented, like being able to read people's intentions accurately. You know, something that acts, you know, without being as invasive as like knowing what people think. You know, because I don't think anybody would like reasonably want that ability anyway. But like, how do you effectively and ethically navigate the world? I think is kind of what that would boil down to, basically.
Right.
But anyway, that's the best I got. I know it's overthinking nerd stuff. I know it's whatever.
Nah, it's like Professor X is what you're saying.
Well, but again, he would just read your thoughts. You know, he would read everything, basically.
Yeah, but he got telekinesis and all that.
That's true. Ms. D says, what about pooping it out in a few days? Welcome back, Ms. D. Good to see you again. You know, that's valid. I actually hadn't thought of that. Like it would have to be as it's passing through, you know, as it's passing through your body.
It's stick, and then it mend itself into your intestines. That's what it is.
I don't know. Ms. D also says, what's the point of it? I guess Ms. D means lasting 100 years. The type on screen says laughing 100 years. Yeah, what's the point of it being able to be store and supply energy for a century if it's out of your digestive tract in a couple days at best? Like
this is why, because they're trying to start the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Wait, what? How does this connect to the zombie apocalypse, Kyko? I don't follow you.
Because are you saying that? Why is it 100 years? Because we probably not gonna last 100 years. Is that why you saying that?
Well, no, I'm just thinking of the physiological realities of the human body. If you ingest something, you're gonna like process whatever energy that you would get from the food that you just ate, and then it goes out the back door. Like
Well,
that's
all right. So say you ingested it and it did stick to your intestines and become a part of you, right? Then what I'm saying is we're gonna die 80 years, say 80 years, right? And
Mhm.
then all those dead bodies still got that thing in their intestines and it's gonna turn them into a zombie. That's what I'm saying.
Well, honestly, I would say like based on that description of like what happens after if the body is still has those fully charged cells,
Right.
or at the very least rechargeable cells. I mean, you could very easily have a Matrix kind of situation where like the body is capable of like I mean we know that the human body generates like what is it 25,000 BTUs of body
Yeah.
heat, but that's just if you're alive.
Right.
So if we're talking about, after a person has passed away, and they still have this thing in their body that they ate to supply with energy, um, I mean, if it's still viable as a storage solution after the body has passed away,
Yeah.
it might be possible for the machine overlords to to
Exactly.
like I don't know.
You saying they're gonna be mechanical zombies. That's what you said.
You're trying to mix up our respective nightmarish fantasy scenarios into the same thing at the same time. I'm not quite sure that's necessarily a good thing to do here, but I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And it's at least on the surface, it sounds plausible. I will say
Right.
that.
Right.
But I mean, heck, I mean everything that's been happening with AI lately. This time 5-10 years ago, it was all just science fiction, and just the leaps and bounds that have been happening in the last 18 months alone. It's crazy. So I'm kind of like past ruling anything out when it comes to this sort of stuff. But that's just me.
Yeah.
What about you guys at home? What do you think? Drop a line on this or any of our other topics that we've been talking about tonight. Ms. D on YouTube says, "So you swallow this thing? Say it sticks somewhere in the body. Just say. Then it malfunctions. No, thank you."
Yeah.
Oh, so that reminds me of a thing like that Scarlett Johansson movie Lucy from a few years ago, several years ago.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, like what if something happens, something ruptures inside of you, and it's leaking out chemicals. In this case,
Right.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. Like just like what happened in that movie. Like imagine something like that happening with a battery that you just ate.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I hear from the like the plausibility standpoint, but I still swipe left on it in terms of I see myself or like any rational, reasonable person actively doing this.
Right.
So I don't know about that. But anyway, is that it, or any last thoughts on this before we move on, Kyko?
Yeah. This is just adding to the great innovation of the nano paper and all that good stuff. And then you getting all this from universities too, so that's pretty cool. That's these colleges are talking about this stuff.
Cool. And it looks like we have one more thing in the chat feed coming through from YouTube. Here is Brain Spaz. There it is. I wouldn't swallow it either.
Yeah, right.
Noted and agreed, Brain Spaz. Anyway, thanks for watching Weird News right here on Weekend Showcase, live across YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter at Weekend Showcase. My name's Don. With me is Mr. Kyko. Thanks so much for joining and smashing that like button and subscribing or following. Let's see what else we have as we continue to march along. We have 4 topics left before the end of the show. Dad joke of the day and the end of the show. Let's see. Next one is UPI. Sugar craving bear breaks into a car and drinks 69 cans of soda.
Wow.
Okay. A British Columbia woman captured photos and video when a bear made a late night visit to her home and raided 69 cans of soda from her car. Sharon Russell, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, said her dog woke her up at her Earl's Cove home about 3 a.m. and she looked outside to see a bear had shattered one of her car windows and was helping itself to the cans of soda she had purchased for her business. Kyko, did you see Cocaine Bear?
I didn't see that.
You said you didn't?
I didn't see that.
Ah, man. Well, anyway, all right. Well, never mind. Back over to this thing. We're actually talking about the soda here anyway. So what's
telling me this bear opened the thing? Like he used his paws to crack the little seal on the can?
Hang
and
on,
drag and put it to his mouth and drag it. What you say?
I guess this has to be played back. This is from the National. I'm gonna try and show this clip.
It was about 3 a.m, and my dog actually alerted me to something was out there. So I took a look outside and I saw the bear. And then later on, looked at my security cameras and saw him enter the yard and smash the window really quickly. I'd left the door open if he'd have tried it. He could have gone in that way. I could see him come.
Okay, let's stop this here. You can see right here on in this still image here, you can see like the level of like destruction that was done on like the can packages. Like let's just start from the point of the bear found a way into the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then it actually extracted all of these sodas and then just started like going to town on those things. Like, holy crap. Like, I don't know, like what these are orange sodas. They don't look like they would have too many honey derived ingredients. I'm trying to think of but oh, hang on. I don't think that's the right comment. Control, try again. Nope. Where is it? All right, never mind. I'll just go ahead and okay, you got it. Brain Spaz says that bear is still sick after all that soda. Yeah, her car's safe now. He'll never touch it again.
Right.
Yeah. This is I can't imagine. This is in British Columbia, I think is what it was. Man, I haven't heard of the indigenous wildlife doing stuff like this, but then I guess maybe that's because I haven't been like watching very much nature news coming out of Canada lately. This may be more common than I think. Kyko, what's your thoughts?
So, I mean, I've never had an encounter with a bear. Do you think that bears have enough sentience to pick things out of a car, to have known it was a car and pick the things out of the car? Or do you think it just did what it did?
I mean, I'm honestly 60-40. Bears are, that's a pretty strong, smell, right. Olfactory capability. I wouldn't rule it out, but then again, I mean, these things we're talking about sodas that were like sealed in cans. Like I don't know how you sort of like smell past that to stuff that's inside. I don't know what could have been motivating the bear to really sort of do that. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I feel, but I'm saying that's why I say I feel like the bear knew what he was doing.
But I don't know how though. That's
all I'm saying. That's the magic of it. You don't know.
Okay. What do you guys at home think was sort of the motivating force behind this, or any of the other topics? If you have any extra feedback on that, join Ms. D and Brain Spaz and shoot us a line in the live chat. Just like here's Brain Spaz once again. He probably had raided a car before, so he broke his way into this one. Curiosity made him open a can. But like, how would that even work? Like, you have these big gigantic paws and like claws. Like, how do you? I'm trying to like imagine opening a can. With like, how do you would have to have like a certain level of dexterity and control for that.
I've seen Winnie the Pooh before, and Winnie the Pooh, he holds the honey. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Winnie the Pooh is a cartoon or is it like a book character, man? Like, I hear the joke that you're making, but like, come on, man.
So that's all I'm saying. I think bears have like a little, how dogs and cats have that little weird thumb. Bears have something that can be. I think he could have grabbed the can at least. I don't know about opening the little thing, but he could hold the can.
Ms. D says, could a good squeeze pop it open?
Yeah.
I mean, you get a big mess out of that, and this photo doesn't show remotely enough like actual mess, on the ground in terms of like leaked, like all those cans. There'd be a lot more orange on the ground if that were the case. I would think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just me. I could be wrong. Anyway, let's move on. We have like 2 or 3 more topics to get to here before the end of the hour here. Let's see. International Bat Appreciation Day celebrates winged mammals. I didn't know this was a holiday. This is first published. Okay, so this was first published April 17. Oh, go ahead, Kyko. Sorry.
Nah, I was just saying someone don't like bats because of our
Apparently, good grief. But all right. Now look, if that isn't a face that a mother could love?
right. Yeah, my bats are cute. I love bats.
Really?
Yeah, I'll get a bat, but not
Okay,
all
what would
bats
you name the
look like.
bat?
Not all bats look like this though.
What would you name your pet bat?
I'm gonna have to come back to you on that one. Maybe I'll make a 5-minute.
Okay, well, how about this? Would you fully domesticate it, or are you talking about a guard bat?
No, but domesticate the bat. I'm feeding the bat with the little baby bottle and everything.
But eventually, it's gonna grow up to the point where it wouldn't need the bat anymore.
Yeah,
like natural instinct's gonna kick in at some
when
point.
it grows up into a full vampire, then I give him, I give him good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the nearby indigenous rat population might disagree with you about there being good stuff for bats. I don't know if that's part of the diet rotation for the species. Brainspat says that's a cute little face. Don't want to see the rest of it.
Yeah, but listen, that's the coolest part. Is the rest of it? The wings is the best part.
Certainly, if you're a mass vigilante.
Yeah.
Anyway, International Bat Appreciation Day, celebrated annually on April 17, was designed to dispel myths about the flying mammals and spread word of the benefits the creatures have for the ecosystem. The holiday was spearheaded by US-based nonprofit group Bat Conservation International, which leads conservation efforts for various bat species around the world. Okay, that's cool. Here's another humanity sort of like carrying the I almost said carrying the torch for nature, but like that might be a little bit of a we're not trying to forest fires are bad. We all know that. I guess furthering the cause of natural conservation. I guess we can go ahead and say that safely and non-euphemistically. International Bat Appreciation Day, which has been celebrated since at least 2013, is aimed at dispelling myths about bats, such as that they pose a danger to humans, and highlighting their beneficial behavior. BCI said in a Facebook post, quote, "From pollination to pest control, seed dispersal, and ecotourism, billions of bats are out there every night supporting human and wildlife health," end quote. Okay, cool. Well, I guess last thoughts on this before we move on. It's a pretty straightforward story.
Shout out to the bats.
You said shout out to the bats?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with that. We can give them a shout out. We can give them a shout out there. Ms. D says, "Gotta admit, bats are good for the ecosystem. They get a bad rep."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. The same with the rats. And then people say that bats are rats with wings, and so they should be called wats.
No, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of pigeons. Pigeons are generally considered to be rats with wings.
Yeah, nah, I heard bat, but listen, we gonna. So I'm gonna come back to you with now the end of that debate right now. Or you gonna look it up? Okay, never mind.
I mean,
look it up.
You forgot I had this thing just sitting right there, huh?
I mean, we got all kind of devices to look stuff up. Rats with wings. Let's see what come up.
Let's see. In Amsterdam, pigeons are known as rats with wings.
Wow. Well, you win this round.
I don't know. I'm just going by what. But I'm curious to know, like, where you heard that bats also carry this.
I thought I heard it on a cartoon or various cartoons.
Okay.
And so I thought that's what I heard.
Well, let's see. Let me see.
All I see is pigeon. As you skim through it, all I saw was pigeon.
Let me try this. Interesting. We're both right. With their fuzzy noses and rounded ears, bats are often called rats with wings or flying rodents by people who misunderstand them. But are they really related to the rodent family? Flatly no. Bats are not even remotely related to mice or rats.
Oh man. Listen, but the thing about it is I've never heard somebody say a pigeon is a rat with a wing. This is what I'm saying. But I'm saying I think because I think you've heard it more of pigeon, why you immediately said that to me. So I believe you. But what I'm saying is that now they're saying, yeah, it's bats too, but I don't know. I know. That's all I ever knew.
Fair enough. Well, as long as we're able to sort of like keep an open mind enough to take in new information.
Right.
I for lack of a better way to sort of
Right.
like put an exclamation point on this, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Oh no, get out of that. Come on. Appreciation Day. I think we just did that. All right. So let's go ahead and move along to this next story. This is from the New York Post. We have about 15 minutes left before the top of the hour. Gen Z is bringing goats to prom thanks to Michael Jordan. The graduating seniors of 2023 may go down in history as the greatest of all time thanks to a few ferociously creative high schoolers who've rented live goats to serve as their prom dates, and NBA legend Michael Jordan is at the center of it all. Jamarcus Eskew, age 18, from West Palm Beach, Florida, told the Post, quote, "I brought a goat to prom because I'm known in my city for being the greatest when it comes to fashion and photography, and I wanted to show everyone that I really am the greatest of all time." End quote. Trending footage of the 12th grader at Palm Beach Lakes Community High School and his horned arm candy, a female goat named Naija, who Eskew rented for an hour from a local farmer for $100, went viral on TikTok, earning him a whopping 344,000 views. And he's not alone in this flashy affinity for the barnyard animal. Well, there you go. And there you go. Yeah.
I'm saying that as Brain Spaz is saying that. What is going on here?
Listen. Standing out at senior prom, that's one way to do it. And
that's listen, all right, I tell you this. It's better, it was better than my prom date. Oh.
Now wow. Do we get a rim shot control? Is that a rim shot? There it is. All right. Okay. Meanwhile, let's see. The critter craze among the Gen Zers is partly an ode to Jordan, 60, who famously donned the number 23 jersey during his storied tenure as a basketballer for the Chicago Bulls. Owing to his championship-winning talents, the now retired athlete has long been revered as the GOAT, or greatest of all time. Okay, so I get that. But I mean, there's plenty of other people who get referred to as the GOAT since then. Like, whether or not you believe Michael Jordan invented the term or, like, you know, was responsible for the creation of that term, like, I'm not sure that you could solely sort of place ownership of that term with this one person. You know, I'm not so sure about that. Ms. D says, "See, young people today have lost social skills, now they're dating goats." Yeah. Again, it's not. But Ms. D, it's not about anything beyond just like it's almost clickbait. It's like TikTok clickbait, basically, is what this is being done as. Though, I don't think this is like anything more than that. I don't think we have to worry about that any further. Kyko, last words on this before
he went viral on this. That's I guess I have to ante up on my marketing strategies because of this now.
But that's going to cost you upwards of $100, though.
What, to get a goat?
Apparently, yeah, or at least from the same place that this kid in Florida got his.
Buy a goat. Listen, he not thinking smart. He could have bought the goat for about $300. You know, he paid $100 to rent it. Boy, he could have got a goat for about $300 if he owned the goat.
And do what with it after the prom?
Play with it. What do you mean? What are you gonna kill it? You gonna let it free?
Well, I don't know. I just like I can't. Well, okay, I'm more of a dog person than a goat person, so
right.
Maybe that's just like my own personal, like, you know, reluctance bias factor. I guess maybe coming into play there. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah. We have one topic left, and then we got to go ahead and shut this puppy down. Fox News with Alabama Museum of Lost Luggage displays unpacked treasures from old artifacts to autographed memorabilia. Okay. Wow. Unclaimed Baggage, a retail store that sells lost luggage in Alabama, is opening a museum in Scottsboro to show the standout oddities the business has collected in its 53 years of operation. The store, which is headquartered in Scottsboro, will open an Unclaimed Baggage Museum on Friday, April 21st at the company's 509 West Willow Street location. More than 100 items will be put on display as found treasures, according to Unclaimed Baggage's public relations manager, who made an announcement on April 11 from the lost luggage retailer's YouTube account. So,
and this is why I don't check my bag.
Really? So what is it, like a straight carry-on?
Yeah, I get
in the overhead.
Listen, you get 2 carry-ons, and then the little the little small bag. I tell them that's my purse, and they don't say nothing to me. So I get three bags going through. I ain't checking nothing.
But see, you just told that story, that plan to the whole world. So I don't know how much longer that's going to work, though.
I fly AirTran. They don't care about me. They don't care about me enough to have heard me just say that. So I'm gonna keep doing it, AirTran. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Listen, that doesn't take away from the fact that it is my purse. It's my purse. What you gonna say to me? So
okay. To each their own, I guess. whatever works.
It's not a lie. I ain't lying to AirTran. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'd be a little bit more honest than that, but okay, fair enough. I'm just boring that way, I guess. Never mind. It's fine. So all right, cool. That's basically. Oh, is there anything in these photographs here? That's whoa, geez, somebody tried to bring a sword on a plane.
Yeah, that's like, how are you getting full sets of armor? I don't think this picture is this is all stuff they found in suitcases. A whole set of armor.
Okay, now you're just going out. This is out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. What is this? What is this?
Oh man.
Oh wow, they have somebody with somebody's whole like bagpipes and thing like they're about to like play Amazing Grace on that thing at a funeral.
Wow.
That's crazy. Like those of you listening to the audio podcast version of this, you got to see the video version or these photographs on the actual link, which we reference in the sources section of the description on YouTube and Facebook, because this is some of these images attached to this story are really bizarre. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around the idea of like people carrying this stuff through baggage claim and then just casually forgetting about them. I don't know.
Are they selling this stuff? This none of this stuff is being sold. It's all in a museum.
Apparently, other notable unique finds include a Hermes necklace from the 1980s, a basketball signed by Michael Jordan, and a hoggled dwarf puppet mask from Jim Henson's fantasy film Labyrinth.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Owens, CEO of Unclaimed Baggage, said in a statement, quote, "People are endlessly curious about the variety and wonder of items discovered in unclaimed bags. We've seen it all. Our store is like an archaeological dig with unclaimed treasures telling stories about people and culture over time and from all parts of the world," end quote. I'll be honest, I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead a little bit and make this my favorite story of the week, just from like raw curiosity of like, I've never thought of this, what happens to baggage that doesn't go claimed,
right?
At like an airport or a train station or something, basically like that, right? These are things that you never really sort of like put a lot of think space into, but every so often you come across something that fits in that category of I ordinarily would never think twice about it,
right?
And use and make something unpredictable with it, and really it's just sort of like takes you aback,
right,
at just how crazy that it was, basically. So it's sort of like you find yourself sort of rubbernecking through that part of life, right? As you go about your life, you find out about this thing, you can't help but look at it. I don't know. That's just my morbid curiosity with it. But anyway, that's actually a good sort of segue to throw things over to you, Kyko, because that is our last topic for the night. What was your favorite story of the night?
All right, so go scroll through them.
Well, we had dead birds get new life. We had waitress fired for mixing blood in cocktails. Comfortable in your e-skin. Littlest intruder. Rat ambassadors. The bulldog puppy that chewed through the owner's toe. The bio battery with 100-year shelf life that runs on bacteria. The bear breaking into a car and drinking 69 cans of soda. The bat story, and then
so I'm gonna go with the bloody cocktail, right? Because that just sparked my interest as a universal item. But the one that like gave me the most shock now was the dog chewing a fella toe.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah. And Brain Spaz, it sounds like you agree as well. Dog Hero was the best story tonight. Just what was on that man's foot that the dog found so tasty.
Yeah, that's something else, man.
Yeah, I no more peanut butter for you, man. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
I don't know, but in all seriousness, like that was all jokes and kidding aside, that was actually a very serious medical thing that was very narrowly avoided there, and so that was really fortunate that was detected in time. However, it happened.
Right.
Like, because it's like, given the choice between losing a toe and losing a leg, I'm pretty sure we would all agree that a toe is preferable.
Right.
So, I mean, take from that what you will in terms of how to arrive at that conclusion.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's all I got for that. But anyway, all right, so that's basically it for our weird news headlines, which brings us now to the part of the show where Kyko and I go through dad joke of the day.
Not a bing. That's what be going on in my head.
Okay, I'll pretend to not be insulted by that thoroughly. Both of you. Control. Anyway, all right. Anyway, all right, how about this? Dad joke of the day. After an unsuccessful harvest, why did the farmer decide to try a career in music?
You got me.
Not even going to try to make a guess at this? All right. After an unsuccessful harvest, why did the farmer decide to try a career in music? Because he had a ton of sick beats.
No. What my name? Ooh.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Oh,
be sure to tip your waitress. Not too
leave
hard or she'll fall over.
Hey, you can stay till Tuesday. Leave.
All right. Anyway, that's about it. We got to shut this down here. This brings us to the end of this week's Weird News stream. What was your favorite tonight? Go ahead and hit us up in the comments section to continue the conversation. Feel free to visit us at Weekend Showcase on all major social media platforms, or Linktree/Weekend Showcase, like in the description and in the crawl at the bottom of the screen, to see it all in one place. We are about to do another stream momentarily, actually. We're going to do another game stream live with the new game Minecraft Legends, which just hit last week for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC and Steam. We've tested all of our equipment here. I think we'll be able to get a better video quality for y'all for the game, so we're looking forward to that. And after that, we have another game stream coming up this coming Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. I think we've got Modern Warfare set up for this week, because I know we're doing Guardians the week after, but Guardians of the Galaxy. But anyway, we'll get to that part later. For now, thanks so much for tuning into Weird News. Have a great night. Stay tuned for Minecraft Legends with me and Kyko, and everybody else. We'll see you next week. Bye bye. Man, that was some weird news.